Now on Nightside, a social media account causes backlash in the courtroom. We'll show you why an ICE agent's posts are sparking outrage from both sides of the Spokane 3 trial.
I'm tracking cooler, wetter weather in the first alert forecast, but there have been some changes in the timing of its arrival. I'll help you plan your Memorial Day weekend hour by hour in the first alert forecast.
And millions of people are hitting the road for the long Memorial Day weekend, but this year travelers are looking at a much higher price tag. The factors contributing to the cost. Live on 4 News Now and streaming on KXOY Plus, you're watching 4 News Now Nightside. Thanks so much for staying up with us here on your Friday night. I'm Derek Dice alongside Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker. And Chris, the forecast for Memorial Day weekend is looking just about perfect.
It really is. The unofficial start to the summer season, and it is certainly going to feel like it. And we got off to a great start. Our time lapse from this afternoon and this evening in downtown Spokane. It was a beautiful evening and so nice and warm, and it's going to get even warmer. 4 things to know about your weather. Temperatures are going to be up around 80 degrees, not only Saturday and Sunday, but that is going to last into Monday. We are going to stay partly to mostly sunny through Monday, most of Monday, certainly Saturday and Sunday. We will be breezy at times this weekend. Afternoon wind gusts in the 20, possibly 25 miles per hour range out of the southwest. Showers do return on Memorial Day, but it looks like it's going to be late Monday evening. Most of the day is going to be dry and really nice. Beautiful weather for Saturday. 0% chance of precipitation with partly to mostly sunny skies. Temperatures more than 10 degrees above average with that breeze I mentioned, up to 25 miles per hour around the region. Temperatures in the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area, upper 70s and lower to mid 80s, even in the mid 80s in Meade and in downtown Spokane. We will be in the lower 80s in Millwood and Spokane Valley, 70s in Valley Ford, and then all the way up to Spirit Lake, but 80 tomorrow in Coeur d'Alene, 79 in Harrison. Around the region, lots of 80s on the map from Lewiston and Dayton all the way up to Omak and Winthrop, even Colville, 82 and close to 80 in Bonners Ferry, 78 tomorrow in Sandpoint. Now, there are some changes coming in the 7-day forecast, including a big drop in temperatures. I'll let you know what to expect coming up in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. New on Nightside, some unfortunate news for those who plan to fire up the grill this holiday weekend. The average cost of beef is at a record high. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says beef hit a mark of $6.90 per pound in April. Experts say drought, high fuel prices, and fertilizer costs are to blame, mixed in with consumer demand to drive up those beef prices. The head of the Iowa Farmers Union says a small group of beef processing companies control a majority of the market.
You know, the middle companies that are really in charge, they're driving what farmers can get paid, and they're driving what the consumers are paying.
He says to cut costs with more options, consumers should buy direct from local farmers. And with prices climbing at the store, some help is coming straight to families who need it most. Washington's beef community just kicked off Beef Count Summer Grilling in Spokane, donating 726 pounds of ground beef through Second Harvest Mobile Market at the West Central Community Center. That's enough to help feed 363 families. It's part of the Beef Counts program, now in its 16th year, partnering with Second Harvest to fight hunger across the state. Monday is Memorial Day, and many people are getting ready to pay their respects to America's veterans. There are over 11,000 grave sites at the Washington State Veterans Cemetery in Medical Lake. And today, volunteers came out to honor these fallen veterans by placing over 3,000 American flags on grave sites ahead of Memorial Day. As they made their way through the grave sites, many of the active duty military members in attendance took the time to reflect on the sacrifices made by those who came before them.
Every time we place the flag down, we give that person a salute, and that salute just is that final send-off for a lot of people, especially people that wear the uniform. It's kind of emotional. These people kind of planted the seed for me to be here, so I want to pay my homage and my respects to give back to them.
The Washington State Veterans Cemetery will hold a Memorial Day ceremony on Monday morning at 11 o'clock. A record number of Americans are expected to travel for the Memorial Day holiday. The Seattle-Tacoma International Airport saw 180,000 people today ahead of the three-day weekend. And AAA projects more than 39 million Americans will drive to their destinations even as gas prices continue to climb. ABC's Andrew Dimbert breaks down the numbers.
Memorial Day weekend is off to a busy start with millions of Americans hitting the roads and heading to the airport. AAA says a record 45 million people are expected to travel over the holiday weekend, making this one of the busiest Memorial Day getaways in years.
People still want to get away, and they're willing to endure long lines and high gas prices to get to where they're going.
At the airports, the TSA expects to screen roughly 18 million passengers and crew during the holiday travel period. And at some major hubs, long security lines and packed terminals are already pushing travelers' patience.
I was a little nervous for Memorial Day weekend just because school's being out and closed and everyone wants to go away.
Adding to the headaches for flyers, a sinkhole near a runway at New York's LaGuardia Airport, one of the busiest in the nation. The runway still closed today for repairs, prompting major delays and cancellations.
I mean, all flights are booked. They're all sold out.
Nationwide, Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, and Denver are expected to be among the busiest airports this weekend, with more than 53,000 flights scheduled Friday. And it's not just air travel surging. AAA projects more than 39 million Americans will drive to their destinations, even as gas prices climb.
While we expect broadly less demand, less travel over the course of the summer, it's still going to be a very busy Memorial Day.
The national average for a gallon of regular gas now stands at $4.56. That's up sharply from last Memorial Day when drivers were paying an average of $3.17 a gallon.
We are not going to travel too far. You know, the gas, it is tough. Like it's tough to kind of budget that into everything else right now.
This year's prices are the highest for the holiday since the summer of 2022. The sinkhole is expected to be repaired, inspected, and that runway reopened sometime tomorrow. Reporting from LaGuardia Airport, Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Well, the Mariners opening a three-game series in Kansas City tonight. Logan Gilbert threw 5 2/3 shutout innings, but it's still scoreless in the seventh until this. Mitch Garver unloads on this pitch from Nick Mears for the go-ahead 2-run homer, his second of the year. It left Garver's bat at 104 miles per hour and traveled 406 feet over the bullpen in the left field corner. And that was all the M's would need. In a 2-0 decision, Andres Munoz worked the ninth inning for his 9th save of the year. In college baseball, Nick Lewis strikes out 11 over 8 2/3 innings as WSU wins its opening game in the Mountain West Conference tourney 5-1 over Air Force. They'll face top-seeded San Diego State tomorrow. But in the WCC tourney, top-seeded Gonzaga is now out after a 6-5 loss to San Francisco. The Zags' chances of an at-large NCAA bid now appear slim. An ICE agent was called back to the witness stand over social media posts he didn't tell the prosecution about. The Spokane 3 trial stems from a ICE protest in Spokane last summer. The prosecution showed several of ICE agent Jeremy Burlingame's posts in court today. They included comments he left on X, calling Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett ghetto garbage and referring to transgender people as mentally ill. The defense raised major concerns about Burlingame's bias towards African Americans and the LGBTQ community. One of the defendants in this case, Jack Archer, is African American and non-binary. A school superintendent in Western Washington who also worked at 2 Spokane County school districts is facing charges for obstructing a sexual assault investigation. Longview police arrested Karen Cloninger yesterday as part of an ongoing investigation involving sexual assaults at Mark Morris High School. Investigators say Cloninger was aware of allegations involving multiple students as early as January. She's accused of directing staff to handle the matter internally and discouraged further discussion even after law enforcement reached out for her assistance, or to offer assistance. Cloninger, who previously worked in the East Valley School District and for Spokane Public Schools, is now charged with tampering with a witness, failure to report, and obstruction. She's been ordered not to contact students or witnesses and is due back in court in June. All right, coming up next here on Nightside, runners from all over are gearing up for the Coeur d'Alene Marathon this weekend. We'll show you how drivers can navigate the road closures. Plus, one Spokane Valley family is going through the unimaginable while their 3-year-old fights cancer. Little Cora's story after the break. And stick around for another look at your Memorial Day weekend forecast. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV. 4 News Now is brought to you by the Scale House Market in the Spokane Valley.
If retirement were tomorrow, would you be ready? I'm Kirsten O'Connor. This Money Saving Monday, I'll show you the first step to check your progress, how much to save now, smart catch-up moves, and one big mistake to avoid. Monday on Good Morning Northwest.
It's a 4-day price crash today through this Monday at all Cal locations, where they are loading up the lots with hot buys and big markdowns, plus giving you up to 110% trade-in value for your old ride. Today through this Monday at Cal.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet.
Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam.
They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with the free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Shortness of breath, chest pains, and a cough. Little things wipe you out, you can't shake it off. It might be long, long COVID. You got chills, brain fog, depression, fever, can't smell, taste. Could be long COVID. One more time.
This show is wonderful, Jimmy.
You're defending democracy.
Yes! People have spoken.
There's a lot more to come, so save your energy here.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, tonight on ABC. 4 News Now is brought to you by Orchard Crest Retirement and Assisted Living.
They call it the crown jewel of rail-to-trail conversion, and it's officially open for the season. We're talking about the Route of the Hiawatha. The 15-mile mountain trail winds through the breathtaking Bitterroot Mountains between Idaho and Montana, delivering an unforgettable ride packed with adventure. Cyclists will cruise through pitch-black tunnels and pedal high above the forest floor across towering trestles. If you don't have a light for your bike, you can just stop in at the lodge at Lookout Pass there and rent one for like a few bucks.
And theirs are a lot brighter than ones that you might have. She learned the hard way.
Yeah, and you really need it for those tunnels. That first one is like a mile and 1.7 miles or something like that.
You need some lumens to get through there. But you will not need any illumination tomorrow. If you're outside, it is going to be bright and sunny. 81 degrees on Saturday, 79 on Sunday with partly cloudy skies. Very much like today, we're not going to be crystal clear all day. We'll see a few clouds in and out. Make things interesting. Those temperatures are about 10 degrees above average. Nights will be mild for the next several nights. Showers late on Monday. The Memorial Day forecast has improved quite a bit, as it looks like most of the precipitation is going to hold off until late in the day, even into the overnight. And so a lot of those amazing services at the local cemeteries and at the Veterans Arena, if you've got to walk to the arena, you will be most likely staying dry, because our weather pattern right now, we have high pressure, but it is a flat ridge. We are right at the top of that ridge in more of a westerly flow. So we are going to be dry, nothing coming down that flow except north into Canada. That means that we will see an occasional cloud moving through, and the winds will be picking up in the afternoons. Here's Sunday at 5 o'clock, still dry, and then we can just start to see a system approaching that is going to zip through on Monday, a cold front, bringing with it some hit and miss showers, and then for Tuesday, much cooler and unsettled conditions and a chance of more precipitation, especially over the mountain areas. Here's a closer look, and I'm starting this out on at noon on Monday, and through the Cascades, folks camping, and even up into the Okanagan area, we may see a little bit of rain by noon on Monday, and then Here's 2:30 Monday. Mainly mountain showers popping up in the afternoon, mid to late afternoon. The more steady rain comes in Monday night. Here's Monday night at 8:30 into the overnight. Finally, here's 8 o'clock on Tuesday, a little bit of a break, but then in the instability behind our front, another round of mainly mountain showers developing Tuesday afternoon and evening. And Tuesday is going to be fresh. We're going from right around 80 degrees, swan diving down into the lower 60s, and then our temperatures rebound almost right away back to around average or a little bit above, with mostly dry conditions, just a 20% chance of measurable rain on Thursday and Friday. Overnight lows in the 40s and even 50s. Pick of the night tonight from our friend Sarah Platt says there's still lilacs. She was surprised. Still lilacs blooming in Manitou Park. The lilac garden there is spectacular. You can smell it from 100 yards away. It's so beautiful, and it'd be a great weekend to go check that out, Derek.
For sure. All right, a Spokane Valley family faces a new challenge after doctors discovered a dangerous tumor near a 3-year-old's eye. Cora and Clover are twins who are known for lighting up every room they walk into. The two inseparable sisters are now forced to be apart for hours on end while Cora begins her 29-week treatment plan.
They've never been apart for, more than a couple hours. Like, they go everywhere together, they do everything together, they're best friends, they play together, and, we've had long hospital visits where, they're apart for 8-9 hours, and it's really hard.
A GoFundMe campaign has raised nearly $37,000 in 3 weeks. Mom Autumn Tacky's co-workers hosted a silent auction, and friends are selling merchandise to help with medical expenses. Despite the difficult separation during treatment, though, their parents say the experience is bringing the girls closer together. You can watch Cora's full story on our website, KXLY.com. Well, more than 200 UFO files now declassified, but the Pentagon still has no answers. The unexplained aerial objects captured by military sensors coming up.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
The Memorial Day mattress savings are on now at Walker's Furniture and Mattress, where all your favorite mattress brands are on sale with incredible savings on Beautyrest, Serta, and 40 more styles to choose from. Upgrade your sleep and pay over time with 0% interest for 5 years, no money down, and no minimum purchase. Plus, get free delivery and take home up to $300 in free furniture with select sets. Only at Walker's, where quality just costs less.
My mind felt hazy and gray. I couldn't follow conversations. It was like I was in a fog. I was sleeping way too much. I was missing out on activities with my family. I felt underwater. Now I know it was depression. Recognizing my symptoms and finding support helped me manage it. Learn more about your symptoms at seehowifeel.org.
There are trucks, and then there's the 2026 GMC Sierra, with the capability to handle what life throws your way. That's the GMC Sierra, leading where it matters most. GMC Sierra, it's the truck. During GMC Truck Month, get 2.9% APR for 72 months on 2026 Sierra 1500 models. Plus, no monthly payments until after Labor Day.
ShopDaveSmith.com.
Do you have a house that you need to sell without fixing up? Hi, my name is George Anderson with REI Branded Home Buyer. We buy houses in any condition all over the Pacific Northwest. No repairs, no commissions, no stress, just a simple cash sale. We buy inherited houses, rentals with squatters. We even buy mobile homes. Give us a call, we buy them all. For your cash offer, give us a call at 509-355-0355.
4 News Now is brought to you by Shriners Children's Hospitals.
A federal grant that's helped fund Spokane community projects for decades could soon be coming to an end. The Community Development Block Grant has helped pay for new playgrounds, senior housing assistance, and neighborhood improvements for years. But President Trump's proposed 2027 budget eliminates the over $3 billion program that's used by cities across the country. It's a proposal that Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown says would have immediate negative impacts.
We've had over 7.5 million over the last 2 years, and it's gone straight into things that neighborhoods prioritized: fencing for parks, women's job training, home repair. These are all great things that make a difference.
The Trump administration says the money is being used for pet projects rather than community needs. However, SNAP, a local nonprofit that receives nearly $2 million annually from the grant, argues the funding is crucial for low-income households. The federal budget is scheduled for approval by the end of September. Following its biggest update in 25 years, Google was glitching for some users today. Google search was temporarily responding to certain command words like disregard and stop with AI chatbot-style messages and blank space instead of regular search results. Google says the glitch is not related to the massive update to the search bar it rolled out on Tuesday. Engineers are working on a fix, which they hope to release soon. In news around the nation, Tulsi Gabbard is resigning as Director of National Intelligence. In a letter to President Trump, she said her last day will be June 30th. Gabbard said she's stepping down to spend more time with her husband, who is fighting a rare form of bone cancer. In a social media post, the president said Gabbard is resigning for the right reasons. He added that she's done an incredible job in her role as Director of National Intelligence. President Trump announced that the Principal Deputy Director, Aaron Lucas, will move up in an acting capacity. The Pentagon released 64 new UFO files, including videos, audio recordings, and military reports. This adds fresh details to ongoing military investigations into unexplained aerial objects. It includes incidents captured by military sensors and radar systems. ABC's Jay O'Brien has the out-of-this-world images.
Tonight, the Pentagon releasing a new batch of so-called UFO files, more than 50 never-before-seen videos showing unexplained objects in the skies above the U.S. and around the world. This one spotted over Syria in 2021, seen suddenly speeding off in a way unlike any known aircraft. And here the Coast Guard picking up this object as it flies parallel to a plane over the southeastern U.S. in 2024. The Pentagon also releasing these close-up images of a sphere flying through the clouds and suddenly changing course over Afghanistan in 2020. Just a month earlier, an object similar in shape seen moving fast over this undisclosed area by U.S. Central Command before it eventually goes higher off into the sky. More than 200 files made public so far, declassified by President Trump, who touted complete and maximum transparency and pushed the public to decide for themselves.
They want to find out about the UFOs and anything having to do with UFO or related material.
While the Pentagon has found no evidence of extraterrestrial involvement, military officials acknowledge they can't explain or identify these objects.
The government website that has published these records reports upwards of 1 billion hits since it was first created earlier this month, the Trump administration says, and more files are expected to be released soon. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
Well, Spokane Indians star Ethan Hedges leads the team in RBIs and doubles. The top 20 Rockies prospect shares the mindset driving his breakout season. Next in sports.
Later tonight on Nightline, teen hacking. A new generation of tech-savvy Gen Zers descending into a life of cybercrime, chasing cash and status. The young man behind a historic breach speaks out from prison. What experts are asking parents to do.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
This is what everyone's talking about.
Everything's on the table.
This is what champions come to take. This is what everyone came to see.
And the slam!
No do-overs. No second chances. No more Mr. Nice Guy. This is winner take all. And it's all happening now on the home of the NBA Finals. Don't miss it. June 3rd on ABC and the ESPN app.
The all-new Audi Q3. Made for a life of yes. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Okay, let's see what else. Well, there's me catching the bouquet.
Yeah. Remind me why that happened again?
Nobody told me the rules.
anniversaries are special, so we're offering a special jackpot package with a dining credit, blackjack coupons, discount room upgrade, and more. See website for details. Only at Northern Quest. 25 years bold.
It's a 4-day price crash today through this Monday at all Cal locations, where they are loading up the lots with hot buys and big markdowns, plus giving you up to 110% trade-in value for your old ride. Today through this Monday at Cal.
92.9 CCU.
New Audi Q3, made for a life of yes. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
While the Spokane Indians had a forgettable game tonight and a home loss to the Vancouver Canadians, Ethan Hedges continues his meteoric rise. 4 News Now sports director Jack Wallace sat down with the third baseman and shares how his journey from California to Washington led to his rise to the top of the Indians' offense and defense.
Spokane Indians third baseman Ethan Hedges has a simple motto.
I mean, you need to have belief. You need to believe that you belong. You need to believe that, you're right where you're supposed to be.
And he has a reminder right on his wrist every time he goes up to bat or trots out onto the field.
So I think I like having this on my wrist just because it's easy to look down and tell myself, just believe. Like, as long as you got belief, you got something, right?
Hedges got the belief wristbands when he played for the USC Trojans, making T-shirts with the phrase Mucho Belief, and it all helped lead Southern Cal to a regional final last season. Playing at the uber-talented Mater Dei High School and SC for college taught Hedges how to learn from failure and respond.
Being thrown into, a really good high school, really good competition, taught me quickly that it's not always going to come easy. And I think that that's a really valuable lesson that I learned pretty early in my life, which is a good thing.
Drafted by the Rockies just last season, Hedges skipped low-A Fresno and arrived in Spokane last year, now starting 2026 with the Indians as a top 20 Rockies prospect.
I mean, I couldn't have imagined that feeling or dreamt that feeling, in any aspect of what it was. It was, a sum of all my hard work up until that day, and then I quickly realized that it's going to take a lot more hard work to get where I want to go.
Defensively, he's been exceptional over there. Like, I knew he was good last year, and the more I got to see him, the more I realized how special he is, and he's tapped into a little bit of power that I know is in there.
Coach Tataris added Hedges' leadership skills emerged well already into the early season.
He just shows up every day, he works, and he talks game. Very, very bright player. And him and a couple of the other guys are just always talking about situations that come up in the game and how they can handle them.
Hedges leads the Indians in RBIs, doubles, and is tied for second in runs, hits, and slugging percentage, well on his way for a standout full year in the Northwest.
This game, it asks a lot of you, but the more I can show up every day and be consistent, I think that's going to help me as well as this team kind of be and get where we want to be.
Reporting in Spokane, I'm Jack Wallace, 4 News Now Sports.
Well, the Coeur d'Alene Marathon is this weekend, and this year's race is expected to have a record number of participants. It means a weekend of marathon fun, but also crowds and road delays. There's a long list of travel areas impacted, but here's a general idea of what you need to be aware of. Expect delays and crowds around the Coeur d'Alene Resort, City Park, and McEwen Park. And roads will be closed around McEwen Park during the morning, but they'll remain open for two drivers from surrounding neighborhoods. On your screen is a map of the full marathon route. It kicks off at 5:30 Sunday morning. The half marathon race looks very similar to this. It kicks off at 7. Runners will make their way through city parks, neighborhoods along the lake, and the North Idaho Centennial Trail. The 10K race starts at 8 a.m., followed by the 5K at 9. All of these will be starting by McEwen Park. Visitors should be prepared for it to take a little bit longer to get downtown. It may still be a little too early for inner tubes and paddleboards on the Spokane River with the current running strong this time of year, but that same fast-moving water makes for some of the best whitewater rafting. In this week's Air 4 Adventure, we take to the skies over the Spokane River as one local outfitter gives people a front row seat to the river's power.
Who's ready to go rafting?
A lot of
people think about whitewater rafting the Spokane River because it's a short season because the water levels change so much. So we really take advantage in the springtime, and that is why we're doing this.
The Spokane River, it's really the heart of Spokane. That's why I love it, and it's one of the things that bring travelers here, and one of the things that makes Spokane so unique. There's not a lot of other cities where we can put a rafting trip just minutes away from downtown Spokane, float 12 miles, hit great whitewater, and then still be able to have like a lunch or a pint later too. It's pretty cool. We take ages 6 and up on this. We do senior centers down on this section. It's kind of like a beginner, intermediate rafting trip, so you don't have to really have much experience to jump on. It's a good one to get your toes wet for the first time. And so a lot of people that are like whitewater curious, they don't know if they want to do it or not. This is usually a good one to test it out and then usually get the bug and want to keep going from there. So we're gonna float about 12 miles. We'll go through Riverside State Park. We'll go through Bowling Pitcher, Devil's Tono, those Class 3 rapids, and then we'll kind of end in Riverside State Park in the end and Police Flats. But real beautiful scenic, lots of wildlife, lots of good little splashes throughout too. It's a good time. Got a lot of great recreation available in Spokane, but the whitewater rafting is usually the most adrenaline pumping, kind of the most fun-filled one that I'd say that you have in this area. It's the best time for the Spokane River, so it's one of a kind.
From playing JFK Jr. in Love Story to now in American Horror Story, where will Paul Anthony Kelly's story take him this week?
Good morning, America. That's correct, yeah.
Wake up with Paul Anthony Kelly on
Good morning, America.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Daily Local at KXLY.com.
Fred Meyer always gives you more ways to save, like low prices in every aisle. Plus, you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the app and earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. Discover more ways to save big. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
Every year, KBB.com asks actual car buyers which brand is best. It's called the Consumer Choice Awards. And year after year, they choose Honda, the best overall brand 5 years in a row, and best value brand since 2015. In fact, this year, out of 8 categories, Honda won 7. Right now, well-qualified buyers can lease HR-V for $249 a month or get 3.49% APR financing. To see why car buyers choose Honda, see your Inland Northwest Honda dealer.
Chevy drivers need a truck that shows up the same way they do. That's why Chevy Silverado is #1 in manufacturer loyalty. So they can go where others won't, make their own way there, and always get it done. And as long as Chevy people keep showing up, we'll keep building trucks that do the same.
Just announced. Get 2.9% APR on all 2026 Silverado 1500 models. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Resilience. At Shriners Children's, we're leaders in pediatric sports medicine. With expertise in sprains, tears, fractures, and other sports-related injuries. We're here to deliver the best care in the business and never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs. Because every great comeback starts with a game plan for empowering the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
You'll find more ways to save every day at Fred Meyer. Right now, USDA Choice Ribeye Steaks are only $7.99 a pound with your digital coupon. And select packs of soda are buy 3 get 3 free with your card. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Warm, sunny weather Saturday, Sunday, some rain moving in late on Monday. I hope you have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend.
All right, just in case your Memorial Day travel plans include a long layover in Missoula International Airport, passengers now have a new fitness option to stay active while they wait for flights. The launch of SkyCycle marked the start of a wellness amenity at MSO. The airport said the bikes could offer movement during some downtime in the terminal. Now, I mean, I guess I get it if you want to, keep your legs circulating before you're sitting for a long flight, but you don't want to get all sweaty before you board a plane, right?
No, you would hope not, for the safety of the passengers next to you. But yeah, to keep the blood clots from getting you, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I guess so.
Take it easy, though.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us here on 4 News Now Nightside. We hope you all have a fantastic Memorial Day weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.